Find out how your opinion can make a difference in city government, meet a local weightlifting champion, and get into the spirit of cheer with a group of awesome cheerleaders. Next on O'Fallon Matters. Hi, I'm Dave Burkhardt, your host for O'Fallon Matters. The City of O'Fallon is looking for your valued input on everything from safety to streets. Here's Brett Figgis with more.
Make sure you watch your mailboxes this summer. You might be one of the 1,000 randomly selected citizens asked to participate in a citywide survey.
So the idea behind a citizen survey is to get the word out to them that, hey, we want to see your opinion on these kind of general topics about the city, and literally hear from the silent majority that's out there. We think we're doing a great job. We think that our residents are in favor of the things that we're doing, but we want to know for sure. And this gives us a chance to either learn some things that we're doing well, and also learn some things where we need to improve processes or make some changes, or just look at new ideas for the community that maybe we're not thinking of right now.
The City of O'Fallon may be surveying you to get your thoughts on safety, city amenities, services, and general hometown needs.
The way this works, it's a statistically valid survey, which the great thing about it is you can actually survey a relatively small number of residents and get data that statistically is proven to be accurate to the larger percentage. So only about 1,000 residents are going to receive the survey, but with that, we're going to be able to get about 99% confidence level that the information that we're getting could be extracted for the larger population.
So how does the survey process work for residents?
This is primarily a mail survey, so what'll happen is the residents will actually get a postcard letting them know that the survey's coming. A couple days later they'll get the survey and they'll be asked to just take the survey, respond, and send it back in via mail. If residents who are selected do not respond, then they will actually get a phone call and give an option to maybe do it over the phone.
Surveys should be arriving in your mailbox soon.
The postcards will probably be sent out in mid to late July, and then the survey will follow soon thereafter. Really, once the surveys are in the mail, it can be a very quick process. It can be only about 2 weeks from beginning to end. Then they'll start comparing the data and putting it all together, and eventually we'll actually get a report back to the city by the end of later this summer that kind of gives us the comprehensive overview of all the data and the responses. The surveys will be mailed out soon, and one of the things that's really important is that we need the residents' response on this. We appreciate that it's going to take a little extra time. It shouldn't take much, 5 minutes to fill it out, but as a resident, it's really important to get your feedback. If you do get a survey in the mail, please take the 5 minutes, fill it out, send it back in as quickly as possible. We can get some data and we can start making decisions on it as early as the budget process for 2014.
O'Fallon resident Gary Johnson has a gift for speaking. You might be surprised to find out he also has a passion for competitive weightlifting.
Well, when most people pick up sports in their 40s, they usually try to choose something light. But not Gary Johnson. He chose a heavier sport, weightlifting.
I got involved in powerlifting about 2 years ago. I grew up in the St. Charles County area, went to Fort Zumwalt North when there was only one Zumwalt. And I was always strong in bench press. It was something, even when I was in high school, I think my senior year in high school, I weighed 180 pounds, could bench press 350. I stopped in, said, hey, this looks like somewhere I used to work out when I was in high school. And I met Chuck Trosper, who's one of the owners here. Anyway, he saw me bench pressing one day and he said, hey, you're pretty strong at this. And you ever thought about doing a competition? And I said, no, I'm a dad. I have a full-time regular job, and when am I going to find time to do that? But he kept encouraging me, and I'm kind of a challenge guy. So he came in and showed me some records and said, well, you could break these right now. I'm like, well, if I can break some records, maybe I'll go try and do it.
Gary went out and set the world record for raw bench press in the amateur drug testing division of the International Powerlifting Association in the ages 40 through 45 division. This guy put up a whopping 430 pounds. Well, a lot of people think that weightlifting is coming into a place like this, slinging a bunch of weights over your head and calling it a day. But here at Power Body USA, as Gary Johnson found out, there's a lot more to it. There's technique to learn, and there's a lot of preparation involved.
One of the things that this particular sport requires is a lot of discipline. You know, you can't just come in here and put 400 pounds on the bench press and say, I'm going to give this a go. There is a lot of preparation, both what you do to get ready for that lift, as well as the things you do outside of that lift. So it's a whole body thing. So I really think that weightlifting, powerlifting specifically, is one of those sports that really requires us as humans to really be personally driven and determined and then prepared. Dr. Gelb, G-E-L-B, and this is his splint.
Besides being a powerlifting champion, Gary holds an MBA from Webster University. He's a national lecturer and author on practice management. Currently, he serves as the Executive Vice President for Dynaflex, an orthodontic laboratory and products company. There's nothing that can stop Gary when it comes to achieving his life goals.
So if I'm going to do something, I have to be the best at it. That's my goal. I can't go in and be pretty good at it. That's why if you ask me to go play golf right now, I tell you no, because if I'm going to go out and just be okay, I don't want to play. So it wasn't that difficult for me, Joe, when Chuck brought this to me and said, this is something you could excel at on a national level with some training. And excel meaning setting records, setting titles. And to me, that's the bar. What can I do to prove myself to myself?
So what's in Gary's future?
I've got a second book being published this fall. It's called Wow, Using the Principles of Wow to Forge the Ultimate Customer Experience. So that book is being published by Tate Publishing. That'll be out this September. I have the Bench Press Nationals in August. I'm trying to get ready for that. I got about 6.5 weeks. My goal there is to qualify for Worlds, which my wife wants me to qualify because it's in Great Britain. So she really wants to go there.
Gary Johnson wants to be an inspiration to others. You don't have to break world records, but you do have to set goals for yourself. And then maybe you can live a healthier life.
This next story takes cheerleading to a whole new level for a group of special young ladies.
Adrenaline Explosion is a competitive cheerleading program for kids of all abilities. 19-year-old Sarah Von Haars created the program when she was just 16 years old. Being a cheerleader herself and having a brother with special needs, it wasn't hard for Sarah to put all her resources together and create what would be a life-changing experience for so many.
The squad means the whole world to me. Like, I sort of see them as my own children, and I'll go home and I'll talk to my friends and family. I'll be like, my kids did this today, and they'll look at me and they'll be like, you don't have kids. I'm like, my athletes did this today. And I don't know, I changed my whole career plan, and I had originally planned on going away for college, but I just decided I couldn't leave my kids, and so I stayed to go to college in town so that I could keep doing this for as long as I can.
Adrenaline Explosion cheerleading has not only made a difference in Sarah's life, it has made a tremendous difference in the lives of these kids.
I feel like the kids are so much more confident in themselves after they come here. They're more willing to go out and make friends with everybody else. They're more confident in their bodies and what they're able to do. The kids in the program gain all sorts of things from better muscle control, better cognitive abilities. They gain friendships. They get so much out of it.
That's better. Go again.
The success of Adrenaline Explosion cheerleading could not have been possible without its volunteers.
Each of the athletes on the squad has a buddy that they work with one-on-one at practices and at competitions, and they basically become their best friend. They help them with their skills, they're there for moral support, they do all sorts of things with them, and they kind of just make friends and do whatever's needed.
Every Sunday we do cheer practice. It's a special needs cheer team. I'm a buddy on the team. I come out every Sunday. I've been doing this for about a year now. It is the best thing in the world. You see a kid and when you first meet them, they can barely jump even, and now they're doing cartwheels and backflips and all these other stunts, and they can go high in the air, and they used to be scared of heights, but now they're going into full extensions, and it's the most amazing thing in the world.
Watch this!
I love you.
You say so.
The squad has not only changed the lives of these kids, it has brought so much joy to the parents.
I think the program is most beneficial for the parents. I love coming in and seeing them get excited about the things that their kids can do. There was one girl who the doctors had told her parents she was never going to be able to jump, and I think her mother cried the first day that she jumped at practice. And I think it just means a lot to the parents to see that people are willing to change their kids' lives.
It's changed my daughter in ways. I just see her light up at cheer competitions and see that she loves the attention, and the confidence and the abilities that she has, she's able to just glow. It's just tremendous. It's just, she gets excited about it, and I love to see her want to do something so bad.
Being a parent with kids with special needs, you always feel your kids are excluded from a lot of things, and people look at them different, and they're no different. Years ago, that it would never happen. My daughters are 7 and 11, and my daughter's going to the world's competition for cheerleading. My 2 girls that are special needs, no way. It's a dream come true to the parents as much as it is for the kids.
We did attend 2 traveling competitions this year. We went to Joplin and to Cape. Now this next year, the squad will be traveling to Chicago and to Disney. At one competition, they did give a 1st and 2nd place, and we took 1st place, and it was probably like the highlight of my whole entire life. And it was just really awesome for the kids to, I don't even know that they knew that they were getting 1st place, because in their eyes they had taken 1st place at all of the competitions they went to, but it was a big deal to me. I would encourage any athlete with special needs, or even without special needs, to come try out our program and see what it's all about. And I think that it really could change a person's life, and I hope that I can share it with as many people as I can.
If you would like to find out more about Adrenaline Explosion Cheerleading, give them a call at 636-443-9813 or visit them on the web at specialcheer.com. They are located off Veterans Memorial Parkway between Highway K and Bryan Road at 827 Midpoint Drive in O'Fallon.
It's time for a break. When we return, we'll give you some tips to help keep cool during the oppressive summer heat. Plus, find out how to help keep your community safe by volunteering for an important police program. Stay with us for O'Fallon Matters.
The O'Fallon Mayor's Youth Advisory Council wants you to arrive at your destination safe and sound.
Here are a few tips to help you avoid texting while driving.
Ask a passenger to send a text for you.
You can see who texted you after you stop driving. Throw the phone in the backseat if you don't have the willpower. It's not worth dying over.
If you need to send a text, pull over to a safe area first.
Set up a message to tell your friend that you are driving and you'll get back to them as soon as possible.
Admit it, parents, how many times have you texted while driving? In our fast-paced society, it's hard not to answer a text as soon as it rings. But remember, your kids are watching and will inevitably follow your behavior.
Remember, texting and driving is dangerous. This has been a message brought to you by the O'Fallon Mayor's Youth Advisory Council.
Welcome back to O'Fallon Matters. Did you know some River City Rascals baseball players live with O'Fallon residents during the season? Here's Joe Meyer to fill you in on the Rascals Host Family Program.
Have you ever wondered what it would be like to have a professional baseball player living on the second floor of your house? Well, the Thorne family of O'Fallon decided to take the plunge and join the River City Rascals Host Family Program.
Well, my husband Mark and I have lived in the St. Charles County, specifically O'Fallon area, for several years, and we've always enjoyed going to Rascals games. And we have a family friend that works with the River City Rascals, and have always heard about how wonderful the program is, how wonderful the players are. And so we had heard through a friend of mine from Facebook that the Rascals were looking for host homes, and I talked to my husband, and rest is history. Really, the only stipulation that Susan had asked was that they have their own bedroom and their own bathroom, and we just provide them some food and meals. And yeah, it's just something, again, just giving back to the community, being part of the O'Fallon community where we live.
The Host Family Program is vital to the success of the team and offers players a home away from home during this season by matching them with local families.
Well, that was actually one of the things that Coach emphasized when he was talking to me during the recruitment process. He said that you would be set up with a host family, and to me that was a big deal because I'm very close with my family, so it's nice coming out here and having that family support when you come home and basically people that you can associate with. So,
Brett spends the majority of his time training and pitching for the Rascals, but when free, he spends time with the Thorns just hanging out. In fact, Mark and Allison enjoy Brett's company.
To play Mario Kart, so we play some PlayStation and Mario Kart, and then Monday nights are really nice because he has dinner with us. So normally if they're playing, they're at the field by 3. So
to have someone around the house is, for me a lot of fun. It's having another guy in the house to kick back and watch sports with, and talk I guess more shop from whether it's baseball. I know Brett's a big basketball fan with all the finals going on. The last couple of weeks have been fun. So
he has a very nice gym in the basement that I work out at a lot, it's great. Watch TV together, watch movies, and they're very close with their dogs, and I'm starting to grow very close to the dogs too. We take them on pretty long walks and stuff. So we've done a lot together in the time that allows for it.
I had to wonder if the Thorns felt just a little bit nervous at the games when it was Brett's turn to pitch.
we joke that he's my son and our son, and but yeah, we cheer loud for him, and we are there for his support and his encouragement. But yes, it's a little nervous, and then you know, through the season they're always making changes for players, cutting and signing new people, and it makes me nervous every time I hear someone got cut because I don't want him to go.
The River City Rascals are always seeking local families, couples, and individuals to open up their house to a host player. If you would like to volunteer to be a host family, or for more information, please contact Susan Perry at susanskyBluePink@yahoo.com, or you can give her a ring at 636-219-5263.
It's so much fun. I have really, you know, coming into this first year, really didn't know too much what to expect. We were just kind of let's just try it for a year and see what happens. And it's been wonderful.
For me, what I get out of it is, you know, you get to meet someone else, get to talk, to learn, you know, to have a good time.
Oh, I've absolutely loved the host family program. It's definitely made it more of an advantage to play in a league like this rather than, say, a rookie ball league or something somewhere else where you're on your own. I mean, I think the host family is like a very critical aspect of the league, and it's very important to the players, and we appreciate all the work that they put into it.
Shoot, another homer!
Here are a few tips to help prevent heat-related injuries.
Three of the most common heat-related illnesses we come in contact with are heat cramps, where just because of overuse of the muscle and people are sweating too much and losing salt. Then we come to heat exhaustion, which is where people become sweating too much, they're overcome by the heat, they get some nausea, some vomiting. And lastly is heat stroke, which is life-threatening, and that is when the body can no longer cool itself. They quit sweating, their skin is hot and dry to the touch, and that is a life-threatening injury. For all of these heat-related illnesses, the biggest thing to do is to get them out of the environment they're in and move them to a shady area and start cooling them down. But once people start cramping up, we try to give them some fluids, perhaps a sports drink. When we get to heat exhaustion, what you'll see is people who are sweating profusely, they'll complain of some headaches, some nausea, they may have vomited. And for those people, we obviously move them to a cool place. We'll lie them down, raise their feet, elevate them, maybe put them on a pillow or a bench or something like that. And we can cool them with some water ice packs on their neck, under their arms, in their groin, places where the blood flows close to, and the artery is close to a bone. It's a place where you get a pulse. And then of course, the most dangerous of all is when people have been exposed for prolonged periods of times out in the sun, and now their body is no longer sweating. They can't cool themselves down. Their skin becomes red and hot to the touch, and that is a true life-threatening emergency. You need to call 911 right away. Those people need to be moved into a cool environment, and when we cool them, we don't lay them down. We want to put them kind of in a semi-reclining position because we don't want that blood to rush to their head right away, but we're going to start cooling them by putting cold rags, ice packs under their armpits, in their groin, on their neck, places where we can start cooling the blood pretty quickly, on their ankles. If they begin to shiver, when they start shivering, that's your body's way to manufacture heat. So we want to kind of step back a little bit and slow that process back down so they're not generating heat, being counterproductive. In closing, I'd just like to say that people can enjoy the summer months even though the heat and humidity is extremely high, just by practicing some basic common sense principles. Obviously, stay out of the heat as long as possible, drink plenty of fluids, keep hydrated, work outdoors in the early morning hours or late at night. If you don't have air conditioning, try to find a place that does have it. You can go to a library, to the mall, go see a movie until your air conditioning can get fixed, and also make sure you have fans running to move air within the house. And the biggest thing, if you have 2 levels, the lower level is always the coolest place in the house, so go to the basement if that's where you can spend your time.
Join your fellow residents and volunteer for the O'Fallon Police Department's Adopt a Siren program.
The Adopt a Siren program is a way of making sure that all the tornado sirens in the city of O'Fallon are working properly. This is done by having citizen volunteers monitor the sirens every month during testing, which takes place the first Monday at 9 a.m. The city of O'Fallon has 16 sirens and is looking for 5 volunteers to monitor each siren. After each monthly test, volunteers will report whether or not the assigned or adopted siren worked properly or failed to perform. Interested O'Fallon citizens must be within a quarter of a mile or no further than about a block from adopted sirens, and should go outside when sirens are tested each month so that accurate observations can be made. Participation is completely voluntary and no legal obligations whatsoever are expected of observers. Citizens who are not volunteers can still report a malfunctioning siren by calling 636-379-3816. However, the Adopt a Siren program will allow the emergency management team to contact knowledgeable volunteers directly if there is a concern or if additional information is needed regarding specific sirens. To register for the Adopt a Siren program, visit the City of O'Fallon's webpage at o'fallon.mo.us. A map of all sirens will be available so that volunteers can determine which siren is closest to their home. For more information, contact Officer Stowers at astowers@o'fallon.mo.us or call 636-379-3816.
We hope you enjoyed today's show. If you have a story idea, let us know. You can email us at OFallonTV@ofallon.mo.us. Please remember to give back to your community because O'Fallon matters to all of us.